Welcome to this Great Covers weekend, and this time it's a little bit different because, well, I'm listening to Prince, Nothing Compares to You. That was the winner of the poll. But the funny thing is, I've already listened to this song, two covers of this song by two other artists. I've listened to Sinead O'Connor's cover, and I've listened to Chris Cornell's cover. But I have never listened to the actual Prince original. So, Great Covers weekend, but I'm going back to the original this time. Prince's Nothing Compares to You. And, of course, it is a song written by American musician Prince for his band, The Family. In 1993, Prince released a live version of Nothing Compares to You with Rosie Gaines on guest vocals on his compilation album, The Hits, The B-Sides. His 1984 demo was released as a single in 2018 and included on the 2019 compilation Originals, which is what I will be listening to. So, I guess there's not a lot else to say since I already am familiar with the song via two other very different artists. Let's just see what the original sounds like.
It's been 7 hours and 13 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away.
Okay, so this feels kind of weird because I guess I've gotten attached to the cover versions, and so now I have this strange feeling of this is really quite different. The instrumentation, the stylistic approach, so different from the other two artists I've listened to, and I'm having to work on myself to make sure I don't just shake my head and say, no, I don't want to hear it, because it's not that it's bad, but I have a different vision of the song already in me. And I guess it's similar to the way some of you have felt with some of the covers I've done, and you've said, no, I can't do it. I need the original because I hear this and I have to have this for this song. Well, it's kind of backwards here because now this is the original and I'm having this sort of internal reaction that I'm having to work against to make sure that I stay in it and I stay with it. Well, of course, although this is my first listen to Prince's version, the original, Nothing Compares to You, this is not my first listen to Prince himself. I've already listened to his Purple Rain, so I am familiar with his style. It's just so weird to hear this song in his style, with his voice. But let's keep going. Maybe I'll come around to it.
Since you took your love away, since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. Take away these blues, 'cause nothing compares, no, nothing compares to you. Nothing.
Okay, so now I'm starting to hear things in a new way, differently than I heard them with the two artists that I listened to, Sinead O'Connor and Chris Cornell. This line, I can eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant, but nothing compares to you. I don't think that I really noticed that line in the cover versions. But here, it seems like he's really bringing it out as a... I mean, the line hits me a lot more strongly than it did in the covers. And it's kind of a funny line, really, because I'm thinking... If I am going out to eat alone in a fancy restaurant, and I want to be forgetting someone or trying to get my mind off of someone who I'm very attached to, and why would I go out to eat alone in a fancy restaurant? Because this whole idea of going out to eat with somebody, it seems like I would feel that really strongly. So it's a funny line to me. Comparing. Let's go back and listen to this.
I choose. I can eat my dinner in fancy restaurant.
I can do that.
Nothing, I said nothing can take away these blues.
Oh yes, that's it. Nothing can take away these blues. As if I expect going out to eat at a fancy restaurant alone to take away these blues. Come on. I never really noticed that line before. Sticks out here in the way he sings it.
But nothing, I said nothing can take away these blues. 'Cause nothing compares, no, nothing compares to you. Nothing, nothing. It's been so lonely without you here. I'm like a bird without a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? I can put my arms around every girl I see, but they'd only remind me of you. I went to the doctor, guess what he told me? Guess
I just came up with a description for his voice. When I listened to Purple Rain, I remember I liked his singing, I liked his style. There were things about it that even reminded me of Queen. If you go listen to that, you'll hear my discussion about that. But I struggled to come up with a way of describing what I hear in his voice as being kind of distinctive. And now as I'm listening, here's how I would describe it to somebody who'd never heard it before. It's like vibrato, but it's not a vibrato of pitch. It's a vibrato of volume. The way he sings, and you hear the sound, and then it disappears very rapidly. But it's not like it's being cut off. It's more this rise and fall, which he employs very effectively in his presentation, in his voice, in the lyrics. But there's a very distinctive element, which is the ebb and flow of volume and projection in his vocal delivery. So I'm going to be noticing that now with a way of expressing it.
I went to the doctor, guess what he told me? Guess what he told me? He said, boy, you better try to have fun no matter what you do. But he's a fool, 'cause nothing compares, no, nothing compares to nothing, nothing.
That little solo section there. It's funny how it suddenly feels a bit jazzy quality, doesn't it? And it's kind of like we're suddenly being pulled into a blues moment. As the line says, nothing can take away these blues. And most of this music doesn't really strike me as that terribly bluesy, jazzy, emphasized, focused. But here, when this solo came in, suddenly it came oozing out of every note, and it was as if in that solo it's saying, all right, I'm going to put you in this and you're going to feel these blues.
That you planted, mama, in the backyard, all died when you went away. I know that living with me, baby, was some kind of hard, but I'm willing to give it another try.
And I keep stopping it because there's so much that I have to say. This line, I guess I commented, Sinead O'Connor was the first version of this that I heard, her cover of it. And when she sang this line, all the flowers that you planted, mama, they all died when you went away. She sang it and I felt the pain of losing a mother. But here, in Prince's version, or the original, I should say, I don't feel it as Mama speaking of mother. It's almost as if he's saying Mama speaking of his lover. All the flowers that you planted, Mama, they all died when you went away. And so curious, and it's a curious thing to see how the same line sung by two different singers, the same song, suddenly means something different. With Sinead O'Connor's version, I guess some of you said I don't hear it as being mother. But I could not think of it otherwise. I couldn't feel it otherwise. For me, it was speaking of a mother, my parent, sort of context. But here, I would struggle to think of it in that way. Because when he sings, it sounds like he's singing. Somehow when he says the word mama, it doesn't sound like he's singing towards his mother. He's singing towards his lover. Listen.
All the flowers that you planted, mama, in the backyard, all died when you went away.
This is
I know that living with me, baby, was some kind of hard, but I'm willing to give it another try. 'Cause nothing compares, no, nothing compares to you.
I love the dissonance and chaos in that last section, as if the world just isn't right since you're gone. I mean, things are not. They don't feel good, and not just that, they're in chaos. They're dissonant. There's a clash. There's nothing is the way it should be because you're not here, and it's a nice musical expression of that sentiment. So now I finally have heard the song, the performance, the voice that inspired the other two artists to pick it up and make it their own. And it's so interesting to me to hear the differences and compare between the two. And I can't help but compare. And since this is a great covers weekend, I feel free to make this a sort of comparison between the two covers plus this original. And I have to say that, okay, this is good. It's a nice song. He sings it well. It's put together well. The idea is absolutely beautiful, and the first two lines, they hurt every time you read them or think of them, and it's such a great way to express that kind of experience, where every second afterward ticking by is one that you count and you feel and you think, how am I going to go to the next one? And I know exactly when you left, and I know exactly where I am now, and I've lived every moment between. I mean, what a simple and yet powerful way to express the emotions and the experience of loss. Maybe if there hadn't been those two covers, I would have said, it's great, I like it, it's a good song. Well, it is a good song. But I have those other sounds in my ears, and Sinead O'Connor's and Chris Cornell's version are so different from each other, and both so beautiful. To me, they capture something even beyond the music in the way they present the song. And Prince's version is nice, but there's Sinead O'Connor with her voice and with her cover. There's Chris Cornell with his voice and with his cover of this. And both of them, when I listen to them, they melt me, they break me. And when I listen to Prince, I can't say the same. It's fine. It's a and I guess what I love about it is that, okay, Prince is the one who wrote the lyrics, who created the song, and what a beautiful song he created. But I love the covers more. So there we have it. An experience kind of like what some of you have expressed with some of the other original and covers that I've done. Well, there is Prince's Nothing Compares to You, his performance of it, and it's good to have a feeling of where it came from and have experienced that. So that's how it is, and I'll see you all soon.